What's going on, guys? We're back with some Europe playoff scenarios. It's a little bit nicer looking than my laptop version, but honestly, I didn't go too hard on it either because there's a lot of scenarios, and I was very busy this week. I have to do playoff scenarios, got to do all my notes, got to do all this stuff. So here we are. We are talking on the mic. I thought it was muted for a second. Scared me. First, we'll get into the playoff scenario website right here. As you can see, everyone can use this. I'll link it in the description below. You can put in whatever results you want and see what percentage they have to make it to certain spots. So, if, say, PSG loses a 3-0, well, they're not looking too hot to make playoffs anymore. See, now they are down at 0% in the blue and the green and all their percents in the red, which is very bad. So, you can work out your own scenarios if you so want to, but I'm going to go over all the ways teams can clinch. That's top 2 or top 6. Not going to worry about the seeding because that's just there's too much game differential stuff. It doesn't really matter. So, let's get into it. First off, I got to sneeze. Woo! Second off, Dignitas has already clinched top 2, as you can see right here. The reason being that 3-0 sweep was huge. Huge. As you can see, they are plus 14 game differential. They still have 2 games left. They can drop down 6, which will put them at plus 8. That is as high as Flipside can get to, because they have 2 games left. They can get plus 6. They can go to 8. But Dignitas has beat Flipside. The tiebreakers are game differential. And then it goes to head-to-head. And Dignitas owns that as well as right now game differential. So that is the reason why that 3-0 was so important last week versus complexity. So Dignitas clinch top 2. They are going to the World Championship. No matter what, they're still going to play for seeding at the Regional Championship and hoping to get a second straight title, or is it third straight? I'm sorry, third straight European title. So that's what Dig is going to be trying to do here. So Dig, you're in. I don't have to worry about you. Let's talk about Weedham Girls. Very high percentage chance here to make it in. Basically, all they got to do is win 2. So they play Vitality, tough game, and then Dignitas. So maybe not so easy to win 2. They should probably beat Vitality with how things stand. Dignitas, though, that'll be very difficult. But if they split, as long as they keep it at a 0 game differential or better, then they will also clinch top 2. What that means is, we'll go back here. If they sweep Vitality early on in the day, well, guess what? They have clinched. See that? No zeros left in the blue. They have clinched there because the worst they can do is get swept by Dignitas. So a 3-0 and an 0-3 equals 3-3. Their game differential would be 0. If they beat Vitality in 4, lose to Dig in 4, they still make it. Now, the reason why, we'll go back to zeros across the board, is because, again, Flipside, the highest that they can get to is plus 8 game differential. That's the highest that they can get to. Weedham Girls has beaten Flipside already. So as long as Weedham Girls doesn't drop any more game differential, Flipside cannot catch them, and they would get it. Also, Vitality's in the mix here as well, but they're even lower on the game differential. So, yeah. And as soon as Weedham Girls wins 1, Vitality is out of the picture, because, obviously, Vitality cannot get to 5 wins. So, there you go. That's how Weedham Girls gets there. They can also lose 2, and Flipside can lose 1 plus game differential. So if they lose both, Vitality is going to start sneaking up. So it depends on how those games play out. And Flipside, if they lose 1, again, it depends on game differential. Because if Weedham Girls goes -6, they're down to a 2. If Flipside splits but does better, you know, then Flipside can advance. Also, Vitality can still advance as well. Because if they win 2, they're going to jump up a lot in game differential. And if they get a sweep on Weedham Girls, that'll really help them go towards trying to get that. But they have to beat Dignitas as well. So a little bit unlikely, but could happen. So Vitality's still in the mix there too. We're going to talk about them in a second. Flipside, we kind of just talked about this a little bit with Weedham Girls, but to clinch top 2, if they get 2 wins, plus Weedham Girl gets 2 losses, or Weedham Girls loses once plus game differential. So if they lose twice, Weedham Girls, then they're set. Then they obviously just get it right away. But again, this is a very large game differential to make up, but they will catch up a little bit if Weedham Girls loses once. So it all depends on game differential there. They can also get it by doing 1 win, and Weedham Girls gets 2 losses. But again, that is extreme game differential, because that is 1. I'm sorry if you couldn't read all of that there. But that all comes down to basically if Weedham Girls loses both their sets by a wide margin. Because then they will drop down in game differential and get closer to Flipside. And then Flipside has a chance to advance on 1 win. So that's how they can make it. Next up, Vitality, again, they can clinch top 2. Also, Flipside, they have clinched top 6. So just so you know, as you can see here, all zeros there. You go down to the percentages. Flipside, they've clinched top 6. Cannot finish 7th or 8th. So that's good for Flipside. Even though a lot of teams can finish with 3 wins, they cannot catch up to Flipside. And that's because, look at complexity down here. Oofa, -8. There's also, like, same with PSG and Fnatic. They can't catch them either. Actually, they can. The only one that can't is complexity. So that 3-0 is very important because complexity can go down to -5 game differential. They have 1 game left. Flipside, if they did lose both, they can only go down to -4 game differential. So the complexity sweep actually, or the Dignitas sweep over complexity actually gave Flipside a playoff berth. So Flipside is in. They're guaranteed for the next season of Rlcs. And I'm writing comments here for some reason. And they're trying for their top 2 spot. So there you go. Now Vitality is the only team that has to clinch top 2 and top 6 in the same day. Vitality, we'll start with top 2. They need 2 wins. No matter what, they have to win both their games. They need to get a 3-1 or better versus Weedham Girls to start evening up this margin here, where they're at -1 and Weedham Girls is at 8. A 3-1 will swap 4 game differential, basically. So they'll move up to +1. They'll move down to 6. And then if they get 3-0 in their other game, and Weedham Girls gets 3-0 the other way, they'll be at +3. Vitality will be at +4. So that's how they would get there. They can also get there by Weedham Girls losing 2, plus Flipside splits, plus a game differential. So, I don't know why I put all these in pluses. It's 2 wins, plus 3-1 or better versus Weedham Girls. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but they also still need Weedham Girls to lose twice. So, they have the 3-1 or better Weedham Girls. Then Weedham Girls has to lose again. And Flipside has to split at the very least. And then they still need game differential. So, gonna take a lot for Vitality to clinch a World Championship spot. Very unlikely, but we've seen crazier things. Or we've almost seen crazier things, at least. All right, to clinch top 6, 1 win will get them in. But again, very tough schedule. They play Dignitas and Weedham Girls. Or 2 losses plus complexity loses. Unless PSG 3-2s Fnatic. I have to actually do that one again because I forgot why that is. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so complexity loses. But if PSG goes 3-2 with Fnatic, then Vitality will also clinch. So that's what that meant. I'm sorry. It's hard to remember all of this. Because if PSG 3-2s Fnatic, well, this is the last game for both of them. So PSG would go to -5. There we go. Yeah, so they would be at -5 game differential. And then Fnatic would be out of it. But that'll give, basically, complexity doesn't have to lose necessarily there. Because if complexity wins, Vitality can still finish ahead. Now I'm just getting confused. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's because I have to figure this one out. Hold on. Let's figure this one out together really quick. So I'll show you my thought process. So if complexity loses, or if complexity wins here, we'll go with a 3-0. It might change depending on game differential. But we'll go Vitality 3-0s against them. Let's see what happens here. So Vitality would be out of this. Okay, yeah, so it was the opposite way. I'm sorry. I think. Let's see. We gotta wait for Mousesports. So say Mouse wins. Just to make this a little easier. Yeah, Vitality would be out. I'm not really sure what this, unless PSG 3-2. Maybe it's the opposite way. I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But if Vitality loses twice, plus Complexity loses, then Complexity, again, cannot catch them. So even if this is a 3-2, as you can see here, Complexity would be below Vitality. Oh, this is what it is. Okay, now I get it. So all they need is a Complexity loss. Unless PSG 3-2s Fnatic, which would mean Vitality would finish below Fnatic as well. So if that happens, they need a little bit more help as well. So they would need like the Mouse game to lose as well. So that's the thing. And again, that's only if Vitality goes 0-6. Otherwise, it's game differential. But that is one scenario where if they go 0-6 and PSG 3-2s Fnatic, then Vitality would finish below Fnatic. That's the only way that they finish below Fnatic or PSG, is if that exact result happens. I'm glad we got through it. I'm sorry, guys. Next up, if Mouse lose one game plus game differential, again, Mouse is up there. We gave them a 3-0, but if it was the opposite, then obviously they could fall below Vitality as well. And also, again, if Vitality wins any of these games, then all they need is Complexity or Mouse to lose. That's really all they need. So right here, as you can see, Mouse would still be at -6 instead. So Vitality just can't get like swept like this, and then depends on Mouse's series as well. Mouse obviously has a better game differential, so they would need Mouse to lose by a decent amount, most likely. But yeah, let's clear the board. And we'll continue. Mousesports. So that is for top 6 and top 2 for Vitality. We're moving on to Mousesports here. They clinch top 6 with a win. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. I like when it's simple. So Mouse plays Flipside. They win no matter what. We'll show it because why not? Then they're in. Mousesports. Where are you? There we go. See? They can finish no lower than 5th at their 3 wins. Because again, their game differential is not terrible. And also because Fnatic and PSG are playing each other, so only one of these teams can get a win. And again, it's because complexity is so far down that they can't catch up, even if they win. So that's why they would be safe. So that's the big reasons there. And then if they lose, no matter the result, all that they can hope for is basically complexity to lose. They can actually get a little bit more help here, too, if Fnatic lose in a sweep. So Fnatic lose in a sweep, then Fnatic falls down lower, but this one might be a little bit off just because complexity loses. I think it's fine. Whatever. We're going to go with it. If complexity loses, they're in. I'm pretty sure. There might be some game differential stuff, but again, I was short on time. So we're going to go with it. We're not going to workshop all the way through it. But I think that makes sense. Let's see. Mousesports wins. Then they'll be -2. PSG cannot catch them, or Fnatic. Okay, never mind. I was right. I'm smart. So PSG, even if they get a sweep, or Fnatic gets a sweep, they'll be at -3. So they can't catch up the Mouse. So that's why they get 5th no matter what. And then these two would finish 6th and 7th-ish, and complexity down there as well. They just need complexity to lose. Because, yeah. I'm sorry. And that's if they lose. Oh, yeah. I'm messing everything up today, guys. I apologize. They can lose to PSG or Fnatic. But, let's see. They would only go to -6. That's right. Okay. Mousesports. If they lose, they go to -6. PSG or Fnatic, no matter what, if they lose, they go to -7. One of these two. No matter what the result is. So they would finish below Mousesports, and that's why they would need complexity to lose. If complexity loses, they're fine. If complexity doesn't lose, well, then they're screwed. So, there you go. Simple as that. All right. Next up, they could also get a little help from Vitality as well, but we didn't really talk about that one, so yeah. That's fine. Moving on. PSG. Clinching top 6. They need to do 3-1 or better Fnatic. So 3-1 or 3-0 and they get in. Because right now, their game differential is not fantastic. But if they do that, they would move ahead of complexity. If they 3-2 Fnatic, then they need complexity or Mouse to lose 1 game. For complexity, it would just be 1 game. For Mouse, it would be the series. Or they need Vitality to lose twice, plus a game differential factors there. So that's how PSG gets in. They have to win this series. If they lose this series, they are donezo. Next up, Fnatic. Clinch top 6. If they win, if they beat PSG. Now again, like this is the first game of the day. So basically it's a win in it. Almost. Most of these results are winning in. Like even if PSG 3-2s, like they're very likely in. Fnatic, all they need to do is win because they have the tiebreaker over complexity, so they don't have to worry about that. And then if they lose 2-3, they need complexity to lose plus Vitality to go 0-6. So that's the only way. That would put them at -7 Vitality, and they would tie Fnatic, and Fnatic beat Vitality all the way back, week number 1. So Fnatic would get in over Vitality. So that's a way that Fnatic can sneak in only if they lose in 5. So it is a win and in, but it's not necessarily a lose and out in this game. But it could be, because Vitality going 0-6, it's happened before, but you would expect at least 1 win somewhere, I would think. Okay. Next up, complexity. They need a lot of help. Even if they win, they are not in. They need a win plus Vitality to lose 2, or Mouse to lose. That's what they need. So PSG and Fnatic are playing each other, so they're going to get a win. So they'll tie with complexity. They also could get in with PSG 3-2 and Fnatic if they win 3-0, because they would move ahead of PSG because they beat PSG earlier in the season. So that's another way they can get in. But for this sake, for the first case, we'll say PSG and Fnatic will finish ahead of Complexity, no matter what. Just for this thing. So Complexity has to move ahead of someone else. So they would need Mouse to lose, and they would also need Mouse to lose badly, because they would have to catch up in game differential. So right now, be at -3. If Complexity wins, they could be -7. They could be all the way down to -5. If Mouse loses, they could be -6, or they can be -5 or -4. So they would need help. Complexity, I believe, beat Mouse, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was that weird series. So Complexity holds that tiebreaker at least. Or they need Vitality to lose too. And again, Complexity would need game differential help. A lot of game differential help. So, like, Complexity really needs, like, a 3-0. They need, like, a 3-0 versus Flipside. They might be knocked out by the time they play, which will be unfortunate, because we always want to see the team at least play for their lives or clinch by playing. But they might be out by the time they play, because if Vitality doesn't lose twice, or if they lost but only like a 3-2, then Complexity might be out. So those are the factors going into it for Europe. That's the end of the page. There it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed my player scenarios. Sometimes, you know, they get a little confusing. And sorry this one came later. It was also, it's been a busy week. So that'll do it for me. I'll see you on broadcast on Sunday and Saturday. I will be on the desk, and I will tell you what every single result for every single match means at the time. So everything's going to change, obviously, throughout the day. So I will tell you if, like, all right, here's what this team needs. Or if this team gets this, something happens to some other team that's not even playing. I will try and have every single one ready for you. It might be a little bit difficult to have every single one ready, but if not, I will throw it into the caster's ears, and they will tell you while the game is going on. But for the most part, I should have every single one ready to go. And yeah, that's just going to be me trying to win it like on the day, because obviously there's so many scenarios that it's pointless to try and read it all out. But we got, what, 7-minute breaks between things, so I can do it. It's not too hard. But yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you. And good luck to all the teams out there, because no one wants to be in this promotion tournament. No one does. There's some really good teams battling out in the rival series, and we'll see that play out. I'll probably do Rivals playoff scenarios, maybe, at some point. I'm not sure if I'll do it this week. I'll do it probably at least for, like, Gilly and the guys, at least if there's any confirmations of anything. But, yeah, that'll do it for me. I'll see you on Saturday. Bye.